I'm super excited to see you all today. I hope that you are happy to be stamping on a Monday. It is the best day of the week, or at least it's a really great way to start the week with stamping. I always love stamping for my Monday lives, and I hope that you're excited to be here. So welcome everybody. I gotta get my Stampin' Lips. I'm kind of excited because I had a really lovely weekend, and we got our boat. But I feel I didn't post any pictures on Facebook. I really wanted to, but I felt like it wasn't okay to post pictures about my weekend when I was seeing so many just horrific stories from Texas. And so I just couldn't. So maybe next week I will post pictures. But we had a lovely, lovely weekend. We had some nice time with Carl. We had really hot weather, and it was all just wonderful. So I hope that you had a great 4th of July. Oh, and the other thing is, we were up at our cabin and not here. So that meant that the fireworks were at a minimum for the dogs. There was a little bit that I think our neighbors did, but other than that, it was not much. So that was good. And we planned ahead. We brought drugs and a thunder coat, jacket, whatever, for Izzy. Milo doesn't seem to be too affected, but my favorite part of the weekend, however, was when we found a beach. The water is high on the Mississippi in our area, and so there weren't a lot of sandbars open, but we did find one little one on Sunday, and Milo does not like being in the water. He was kind of freaked out by it, and so it was really funny. Izzy, all in, so that was really cute. It was very funny to watch the two of them. And Izzy's been on a boat before, but Milo hadn't, so that was interesting to say the least. Anyway, all right. Well, I have a drawing to do from our creative challenge for June, and then I'm issuing a new challenge for July, so I'm excited about that. Oh, you know what, Tiffany? My daughter uses CBD for her dog, and we were gonna get some, but we couldn't find any, and we didn't really have time to look further, if you know what I mean. And then up by our cabin, there are not a lot of places. So we just were, we just, I had drugs that I'd gotten from my vet. So anyway. All right. Well, I've got the tickets for our card challenge. If you recall, what was our card challenge? Oh, it was the fun fold. I know I usually do fun folds, but it was the sailboat card that I did. So anyway, I've got our tickets in a jar here, and so let's draw a winner. I have a couple of different bundles for the winner to choose from. So when you email me your mailing address, I'll give you the shipping options, and the winner is Joyce Harding. So congratulations, Joyce. I will let you know what I have for you to choose from. So congrats to you. Now, the first card I'm going to make today is going to be with our new card challenge, and it's a fun fold. I just sort of came up with it. I was just messing around with DSP. I don't know that it's really an official name of anything, or maybe it exists and I'm not that fancy. I don't know. It's hard to say. But I think that you guys are going to like it just because I think it's really fun. And it uses our new Perfectly Pairs bundle, which is a brand new bundle that came out last week, and I really like it a lot. And I'm going to do kind of a fun inking technique with it. So that's our first card. But I have a few announcements. I don't know if I should flip my camera yet. I suppose. Anyway, let me ask you this. How was your 4th of July? I hope that you had a lovely weekend. I'm just grabbing my papers. Hold on. I guess not. Okay. So, ooh, are these my papers? Maybe these aren't. Oh, I bet those are my papers. They're not. Okay, my gosh. Sorry. I'm not quite as organized as I thought I was, I guess. That's not surprising. I had a really funny story. I have a funny story to tell you. So today is my bestie's birthday, Kelly's birthday. And so I posted some pictures, and then I posted just her and Barb, a different picture that I did not post on social media. Anyway, it was from a really fun time we had in Vegas once. And I was telling my husband the story. And I said, and that was the same day that Barb got lost. And he's like, wait a minute, Barb got lost? And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, that doesn't seem right. That seems like something Kelly would have done. And I just had to laugh because he so gets us. So anyway, I thought you guys might find that funny, especially those of you who have seen the three of us together in action for things. But we had a really good time that day, I will say. But today there are a few announcements. First off, I wonder if I have, I bet I don't. Oh well. First off, we have a new, oh no, I do have it. Never mind. Sorry. We have a new announcement that came out actually just a short time ago that, well, actually, let me quick look at this because I don't even know the timing of it. I think, hold on. Starting July 9th, that is in 2 days, so that must be Wednesday. Two-tone cardstock will be 20% off. So we've got a whole bunch of different two-tone cardstock options. Of course, we have it in all of the colors in 12 by 12, plus willow white willow. Sorry, I never say it right. We also have some combination packs from different scrapbooking kits that you can get that go together. So there's a lot of different packs to choose from. So they are 20% off, and I think that paper is beautiful. And had I known that was going to be the special, I might have changed my fun fold card from today, but it's too late and we're going to go with what we have. So anyway, you could do my fun fold with two-tone cardstock and it would be very cool. So I love that. So 20% off, and I suspect that is while supplies last. So if they sell out, just be aware of that. Then we also, or I also have a brand new All-Star Video Class Bundle PDF. It's the Florals in Bloom. Like, I should just flip my camera around. I don't know. I feel like I'm all out of sorts for some reason today, which is weird because I am actually all prepared. But anyway, I'm going to flip my camera quick so I can show you my, because I have visual aids, you know, I love the visual aids. That's my fave. All right, so here we go. Alrighty, so Florals in Bloom is our new All-Star Video Class Bundle. Of course, you can get this for free with a $50 purchase in my online store during the month of July, or you can purchase it for $15. There should be a link in the description of this video that has where to get this PDF as an instant download. It is a really wonderful PDF, if I can just say, and I love my project, like a lot. This one's mine. It has the color that lets us know God loves us in it. So, I mean, right away, you got to be excited. Right? They're like, whatever. Okay, and then, hold on a second. I'm trying to pull my live up. And of course, it is not working. And then we have a new online class this month for the Charming Day bundle. Let's see here. Aha. So you can get registered for this. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is going to be such a great class. We're going to use the designer series paper on one of our projects today, and I think you will agree it is just beautiful. I really, really love this this bundle, and it's just so pretty and simple, and I don't even know how else to describe it. I just really love it. Easy to use is maybe the right sentiment for this one. It's just a very lovely, lovely bundle, and I think that you guys are going to like it as well. So I hope that you'll join us. Sorry, I'm trying to, oh, here we go. I'm trying to get my live open so I can see the comments. There we go. I think I am there. All right. Oh my goodness. You guys are all having hot days. Can I show a two-tone cardstock sheet? Yes, I sure can. Let me grab one. Let's see here. Okay. So this is the Memories in Bloom kit. This is just the fastest way to find a package of two-tone. It's a scrapbooking kit, but it comes with two-tone cardstock, so that's why I pulled it out. Okay, so here is a sheet out of here. This piece is Secret C. Goodness, Dina, say words correctly. Secret C. And so that is the two-tone. So you can see there is a pretty big difference, especially on that piece. Let me pull another piece out because this kit comes with several sheets. So it's really nice that you can see the different colors. Here is another sheet. This is Petunia Pop. And then when I flip it, when I flip it over, you can see the two-tone is pretty cool. So there's lots of fun things you can do with two-tone cardstock, of course. It's like, really, it's like designer series paper because it's, you know, it's double-sided like DSP is. It's just that one side is lighter, the other side is darker. It's also going to have it has a white core versus like dyed all the way through core. And so that means that you can do things like sand it, or when you emboss it with an embossing folder, the white can show through depending on the design of the embossing folder. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this. You can most certainly stamp on it just like you can anything else. It's just really great paper. So there you go. That one, so it comes in scrapbooking kits, but those are not on sale. That was one I could grab for you quickly to see. Okay, so Charming Day online class is coming out at the end of this month. Get yourself registered because it's going to be a good one. You will not want to miss. Of course, it's part of our online exclusives that were released last week. You can see that Charming Day bundle being used on this sheet, and this designer series paper is stunningly gorgeous. Again, we're going to use this on a project today. It's a really good one. And it will be posted on the Stamp Happy Academy website. If you are not part of Stamp Happy Academy, you should be. We have a lot of fun each month. We have 3 live sessions each month. Or 3 live classes, I should say. We also have a live Stamp Happy party. That is actually happening on Wednesday the 9th, which is the same day as the two-tone cardstock sale starting. That event is going to be a lot of fun. We've got a really cool project to create, and I hope that you can join us because it will be a lot of fun. If you are a Stamp Happy Academy subscriber, you get to attend for free. If you placed an order of $50 or more in my online store, or I'm sorry, actually it's an order of $35 or more in my online store during the month of June, you will get an invitation in your email. And just a reminder, I have some awesome perks for ordering with me. First off, when you order $20 or more, you get 10% back in Stampin' Up rewards from Stampin' Up that you can use on a future purchase. When you spend $35 or more, you get invited to that Stamp Happy party I was just talking about. And then when you spend $50 or more, you get the All-Star Video Class Bundle, which again, this month is the Florals in Bloom. It is a really awesome set of perks that you get, and I would love to welcome you to my VIP rewards group. Of course, I am so grateful for your business. Okay, one other thing that is happening, and this is going to come out, I believe, tomorrow, is the Watercolor Week registration is going to open. Now, Watercolor Week is a free event that I'm doing in honor of World Watercolor Month, which is this month, July. And later this month, I have a week of video sessions that I will be doing. I think they're all going to be live, but there might be a recorded one in there somewhere. I have to check my schedule. But it is going to be such an awesome event, and I can't wait for you to participate. If you've ever been watercolor curious or want something relaxing to do in the evenings that is not just scrolling on the interwebs, I would love to welcome you to my favorite pastime of watercoloring. We're going to do all kinds of fun activities, and I have a little kit that you can get that goes with the event. So again, the registration for that is going to open up tomorrow, and I think you guys are going to just love this. So again, it's free and open to everybody, but registration for the kit starts tomorrow, and there'll be a lot more information coming out. So if you're not a part of my email list, make sure to get registered. Okay, let's see here. Next up, we have our first project. So as I mentioned, this is a fun fold, and we are going to use the Perfectly Pears bundle. Now, this was one of those bundles released last week, and there is some just gorgeous designer series paper. Here is one of the patterns. We're actually going to use this on our card. And I need to get more of this DSP. But it is a really great set of DSP. Let me grab it for you. I think I have it handy, or I did. Unless what did I do with it? Oh, where did I put it? Well, of course, I did just have it. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Okay, so this paper has lots of beautiful prints, and the colors are quite gorgeous. Like, look at that one. Oh, so pretty. There's some flowers in the stamp set. There's various pears in the stamp set, and kind of some interesting color combinations that I really like. And I think you guys are going to love this paper so much. I think I showed that piece already. I have been using this paper a fair amount. Here's another sheet. Now, these are pears that you can die cut. So this, and this all match up with the dies from the stamp set or the bundle, which is great. And so let me show you. So like those will be die cut. This branch or leafy thing will be die cut. This double pear will be die cut. And then of course there's stamps for all of these. And then there's some additional dies that work with the stamp set as well. So it's a really wonderful bundle. And it's super easy to use. So I'm going to show you some of those fun things you can do with it, and I have a cool technique that goes with it. Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to start with a piece of 12-inch by 5-inch DSP. Okay, so let me grab a piece of paper so I can write our dimensions. So this is our July Stamping with the Creativity Cave. Stamping with the Creativity Cave card challenge. And this is, so you have through all of July to create your project, and then you're going to post your project using this fun fold in the post, which will go up tomorrow for the challenge in my Stamping with the Creativity Cave Facebook page. There is or it's actually a Facebook group. There is a link to that here in the description of this video. Okay, so we're going to start with a 12 by 5 inch piece of DSP. I would say, or two-toned cardstock. Okay, and well, anyway, whatever you want to use. You are going to score that at 3 3/4, 7 1/2, and sorry, I got to get my ruler out because I can't remember anymore. I can only remember the first two. 3 3/4, 7 1/2, and let's see. 3 3/4, 7 1/2, 9. This seems wrong, but I don't think it is. 9 3. Well, 9 3/8, and 11 1/4. Okay, and when you do that, you fold it up into this. So it's sort of wait, am I doing this right? Okay, there we go. It's sort of a step card like this, but a little different. Okay, so it looks like that. So it's like you're creating a mountain, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, that is what it looks like. And you want to pay attention to the direction of your card. So mine is going to be horizontal, hence my pattern is horizontal on the 5 inch side. But you could for sure do it like this if you wanted to, and you would get a different look. Okay. Now, with that, you also want a, let's see, about a 3 1/2. I want to measure this. I'm using a die cut piece, but you want a 3 1/2 by 4 3/4 inch piece of cardstock. This is for the inside. And then for the outside, you want 2 panels of cardstock that nest or nesting dies. Okay, and I'm going to be using nesting dies. So let's get started on this. All right, so again, I folded this up, not sort of accordion, but sort of not, I guess. I don't know. And I wanted this piece of designer series paper to show, and then on the inside, you've got this pattern. Okay, then I am using my Textured Notes dies, and I've die cut one in Secret C, and then another piece in this same designer series paper. So I chose that because it's just so pretty. And I love this combination of these two dies. Now what I'm going to do is kind of center this piece right here on my designer series paper. So I'm only going to adhere kind of the bottom portion of it. So maybe I'll do 2 little lines of DSP like that, or I'm sorry, adhesive like that. All right, and then I'm going to press it together. And then I'm actually going to adhere this piece down like that. Okay, so the this last little tab really is just to show off the other pattern of designer series paper. Okay, now I'm also going to take and pop this design up because it's just so pretty. So we want to make sure it is gorgeous like this. And like I said, I was just messing around with DSP, so I don't know that this is necessarily a defined fun fold. If you have a name suggestion for it, I don't know. Feel free to let me know. Okay, now I want to center this on here like so. And there we go. Now, I also die cut from this set a couple of little pieces that coordinate with it. There's this little kind of crosshatch pattern, which I die cut in a coordinating color. We've got some petal pink and calypso coral in here that I think are just gorgeous. And then I also did this little label. This is in the stamp set, or I'm sorry, the die set. And there's also even a smaller one. And it coordinates with some of the stamped images. Okay, so speaking of stamped images, let's do a little stamping. So first off, I want to take my sentiment, which is congratulations, and I'm going to stamp that in Secret C because it is matchy-matchy. And it fits on this cute little label like that. This would be such a beautiful card for like a wedding, a summer wedding, or a anniversary party, something like that. I think it would be a lot of fun. Okay, then I've got some Calypso Coral ink, and I'm going to stamp these pretty little flowers on a scrap of, this is Petal Pink cardstock. Now, here's where I think the stamp set gets really interesting. It's got these 3 little flower centers, and you're just going to line them up in the center like this. And how cute is that? Now, I'm doing the same color, but of course, if you were doing different colors, it would be lovely to have those little centers be in a different color of ink. Now, I'm going to die cut those, and I've got that is the result. Now, I also want to stamp my pear. And so I've come up with a really fun way to get a lot of dimension and depth in this pear stamp by inking this up in a kind of creative way, if you will. So first off, I want to start with a clean stamp. I was kind of messing around with this, so let's clean it off real quick. And I'm starting off with kind of an, I think anyway, an unexpected lemon lime twist. So I'm going to ink the whole thing up real good in lemon lime twist ink. Now this is one of those real detailed stamps. So if your ink pad is really juicy, you're definitely going to want to, you know, rub it with the back of a spoon to get the ink worked into your ink pad. This is not a good technique for a juicy stamp pad. Okay, then I'm going to take a sponge dauber. I do happen to have a sponge dauber for all my colors, and I did make labels for all of them, which I think is, you know, it's a little over the top maybe, but I don't care. I stand by it. Okay, so I'm going to take some old olive ink, and I want the dark side to be on this side of the stamp and the light side to be on this side of the stamp. So I always look at it from the side I'm going to stamp it on so that I make sure and ink the correct side. Okay. So it's, you know, it's like the opposite of what what you want it to be on the stamp, because you'll stamp it down. Okay. So I'm just inking this up with some old olive. We'll do a little on the edge here, and we'll call that good. Now, here's where I'm going to get fancy. In the designer series paper, you can see some pears that have a little touch, well, or in this case, a lot of touch of some pinky color to it. This is actually the one I was kind of looking at right here. So I'm going to take a little bit of my Calypso Coral, not a ton, and I'm just going to tap that in here a little bit. Okay, so I added a little Calypso Coral. Now to make this really stand out, I'm going to do one more color, which is Mossy Meadow. Oh, and I just put my dauber in my Secret C ink pad, not realizing that I hadn't opened it. Okay, so I happen to have a paper towel over here, and I'm dabbing off the Secret C ink. That won't really actually be a horrible thing if we get some Secret C on our ink pad or on our pear. But I'm going to finish it up with some Mossy Meadow that I'm going to do on the very edge here. And just the very, very edge. I don't want a ton of this on here. Now, when you stamp this, it will look lots better if you take another dauber. This one isn't necessarily for a specific color. It's just sort of a dauber I have. And I'm going to soften this with, you can either ink it with your first color, which is that lemon lime twist, or just use it plain. And I'm just softening the line from that first area that I did. Okay. And so it's not going to be a super crazy harsh line where the two colors are blending. It helps blend the colors is what I'm trying to say. So there we go. Isn't that pretty? All right, now I'm going to ink up the outline of my pear in some Secret Sea. And that's why I said it wasn't a huge deal. Okay, so we've got that. Then we're going to kind of repeat that with our branchy thing here. So I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to omit, well, no, I shouldn't omit. What am I thinking? Just kidding. I'm going to start just like before. This time I've got my lemon lime twist. We're going to take our old olive. I'm going to ink this up on the bottom of these leaves with that darker color of ink. And then we'll do just a little bit more with Mossy Meadow. Check your ink color twice before you ink it wrong. Then we're going to blend that with our little dauber just to kind of blend the colors. And then we're going to stamp that down as well, like that. And then we've got the outline, which we're going to do in Secret Sea. And that's why I don't feel, you can put darker color on the center. I probably should have, but I knew I was going to cover my ink up with that detailed line. Okay, so now these two I do not have pre-die cut. So let me grab my dies, and we're going to die cut these out. Well, whenever I die cut something I've stamped or colored or whatever, I like to use a Post-it because if it moves, it just breaks my heart. Nobody needs a broken heart from stamping on a Monday. But I am going to grab my other Post-it. You can also use like washi tape if you like to hold these dies in place. It just makes such a difference because it makes me real mad when they move. Okay, let me run that through. I think we're going to get some rain. It sure is dark outside my stamping window. Okay, so now there is my pear. There are my leaves. And let's put our card together. We're going to close all these ink pads up because I know somebody out there is just already struggling with my number of opening pads. I understand. I will fix all of this for you, especially the dark one. All right. There we go. Now back to my card. So on the front of my card, I want to just do a little embellishing. We've got some beautiful ribbon that coordinates with this and some embellishments. Let me grab them quick. These are sparkle dots and they're just so pretty. Okay, they come in 3 colors. And then we've got this gorgeous ribbon. This is Mossy Meadow and gold trim. All right, so I'm going to take and tie this on. And I'm going to do it kind of down here at the bottom of that little section. Okay, and I want to tie a bow, so I'm going to leave enough ribbon for such a bow. Like this. And what I love about this ribbon is there's kind of like a more gold side and a more, well, it says Mossy Meadow. I think Old Olive will coordinate with it as well. I like the gold side, so let's see if we can get that to show up. So I'm going to make a loop and then another loop, and we'll pull it through, and voila, we've got a beautiful bow. If I can get my finger in the loop there. Ah, so nice. Okay, and I'm gonna just make it a little smaller because I don't want it to take over my card, like that. Okay, so very pretty. Oh, this ribbon is so pretty. I don't know if the camera view is gonna show you how pretty this is, but there we go. Now all we're doing, because the star of this show is really the designer series paper, so all we're gonna do here is put our little die cut panel down, and then our label over the top, and then the real show is going to be the inside of our card. I think I'm going to use an edge piece for my sentiment, and then we'll pop that up, and of course we'll embellish with some of those beautiful dots. But I love that little die cut piece, just kind of sets this off. So, oh, so beautiful. Now on the inside of our card, by the way, these are textured notes dies. I feel like I mentioned that earlier, but just in case I didn't. Textured notes dies. I also die cut this panel out of basic white cardstock, and it's going to go right here. And then I cut another piece of designer series paper. This one is 1.5 inches by 5 inches, and we are going to attach it to the inside of our card. And the idea here is if you put a little adhesive on here, you've got yourself a nice little gift card holder. So again, I thought this would be perfect for a wedding. So you could put, you know, money or a gift card in this little pocket that we're going to create. So I'm just going to take some tear and tape and add this to our pocket. And I guess I need to add this piece to my list of goodies. Now, again, this piece is one I die cut from the textured notes dies, but I also, it's the piece that I said was 3 3/4 by 4 3/4, 3.5 by 4 3/4. Sorry, I can't even say the words right. Okay. There we go. And this last piece. It shouldn't be this hard, but yet for me it is. I didn't put my adhesive on quite right for this. I overlapped things too much. Anyway, you get the idea. All right, so I'm just going to position this down here in the corner, or the, you know, on my card so that it'll fold up nicely. There we are. Okay, so when you open it, there's a little spot for your gift card. You just want to burnish those sides down so that they don't move. And I can see this is sticking out just ever so slightly, so I'm going to trim that off because, I mean, it's a wedding card. We want to make sure this is nice. Okay, so there we go. Ba-ba-ba. Now on the inside, this is where we're going to add our beautiful pear, and then you can write your message. So let me grab, I'm just going to add a little piece of paper here. And I'm going to write gift card. Or money. I mean, you could put a message in there too, I suppose, but that's the idea behind it. Okay, so I've got this little Pear that we die cut. So we're going to add this to the inside of our card. And I'm trying to decide if I think I'll just leave it like this. Ooh, but I did actually want to do one other thing. Sorry. There is a little splattery stamp, and I wanted to add this to my pear. So I'm just gonna do a little speckle in the corner. And doesn't that add just such a nice little touch? Okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this to my card, like so. And then I'm gonna stick this onto my card with glue dots. And the reason being is that they will kind of give a little lift to my pear. We can't pop it up because, you know, it's the inside of our card, but this will give us a little lift. Okay, and then we can actually put the flowers over the pear, which I think is kind of fun. You could also put the flowers like, you know, here or here, whatever, or sticking behind. It's up to you. But I kind of like the look of the flowers on top. Like that. And there we go. So pretty. And of course, the heavy lifter in this card is obviously the designer series paper. It's just so gorgeous. But we carried in the pattern. You could have for sure die cut this with the that pattern of paper I showed. But I liked showing you kind of the fun way to get the stamping of this so nice, or I'm sorry, inking of this so nice. I think this also would be so pretty watercolored. But anyway, now we do need to embellish. We have not done that part yet. So I'm going to take a couple of my dots, and I think because of how this paper is, I feel like I'm going to use these yellow colored ones. I think this is Ugly Duckling. I mean, I don't want to say. And we'll just put a couple of those on here. I just happened to fit them on those yellow flowers, but you can put them wherever you'd like. So there we go. Our fun fold is like this. It opens up nice. We've got a lovely gift card holder pocket, or you can put a note. You can do whatever you want in here. It's completely up to you, but it's just such a fun card, I think. All right, so that is our card challenge. Oh, let me add that 1.5 by 5 inch DSP. Again, that's for the inside as well. Okay, so that is your card challenge for July. So make a project, share it in my Stamping with the Creativity Cave Facebook group, and you can create a project. Prince says, my OCD is cringing that you took embellishments from the middle. It's because they're different sized. Like these are the larger ones. Oh, I guess there's not a medium sized, and then there's the smaller ones. So there you go. All right. That is our first card. That was kind of the putziest card. Now, I loved so much this design with the two pieces of die cut, one a DSP and one a color. I thought we would do another card with that concept. Same set of dies. Now, this set of dies, and there's a whole bunch of other sets of dies that are currently on back order, but they're supposed to be in next week. So just keep an eye out. This Textured Notes dies is one of them. But we're going to start. And by the way, I got my nails done specifically for this card, so I hope you appreciate that. All right, we're going to start with a piece of early espresso. And this is a color I don't use all that often, especially outside of the fall, but I thought this was going to be so pretty, so I hope you'll like it. Now, I do need you to help me choose one of our layers, but let me show you what it's going on first. So as mentioned, just like the last card, I die cut 2 pieces. Now, this is that beautiful designer series paper that coordinates with the charming day. So here is the packet. It is called Floral Charm. Goodness, I don't know if my brain just isn't functioning like it used to, but I have such a hard time remembering the names of the stuff. But let me show you this paper, you guys. It's so pretty. Again, this is the topic of our online class this month. So on one side, you've got kind of a tone-on-tone pattern, and on the other, you've got these beautifully watercolored pieces. Here's another pattern. The back side, another beautiful pattern. The back side, this pattern we're about to use, and the back side is green. Then we've got some blues and pinks, and look at that beautiful back side. Oh, so gorgeous. And then these beautiful pieces and the coordinating back side. So really gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Okay, so let me show you what we're going to do, or what the options are for this. So just like on the card I did previous to this, we're going to pop these 2 up from one another. And again, this paper is just so pretty. I don't know if you can appreciate the gorgeousness of it through the camera, but it is just so stunning. I love, love, love it. Okay. So I have die cut. My second piece is Berry Burst, and so pretty. And the color of this is kind of Timid Tiger, but I think you could also use some Cajun Craze in there. It all kind of matches. And then of course the green is Mossy Meadow. So we're going to put it on our card, but I wanted to emboss a panel to put behind there. I've got Timid Tiger as one option, or I have Crumb Cake. So let me know what you think. Should we do Crumb Cake is one choice, or Timid Tiger? Now, I think there is a correct answer to this, but I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say. So let me know. Let me know in the comments. While you do that, I'm going to take a little sip of my beverage here. So many are saying Timid Tiger, so I think we're going to go with that. Judy says Crumb Cake, but you probably want it. Actually, I think the right answer is Timid Tiger. Now, I'm going to maybe seal the deal by adding some Timid Tiger ribbon to this. Now, here's the next question. Well, actually, it's probably answered, but just in case it's not, what I'm going to do is tie another bow. I've been kind of into bows lately. I don't know. Now, anytime you see me tie a bow, if you are not comfortable tying bows, maybe you have a bow impairment, there is never judging here at the Creativity Cave. You just tie yourself a knot. There's no reason why a knot is not just as good as a bow. But I've been feeling fancy, so I've been doing bows lately. So I'm just going to tie that bow on here. And we don't want it giant because, of course, the superstar of this card is the DSP. So we don't want to take away from that too much. But there we go. There's our bow. And then I want to add to this my sentiment. And I think I'm going to do it in very vanilla. Now, my paper is kind of iffy. It's not super white, and it's not really vanilla. So I feel like we can get away with using vanilla in this case. And I think vanilla is really pretty, so we're going to go for it. The reason I mention it, though, is because we are going to put a die cut panel on the inside of our card. This is the largest die from our textured notes, and we're going to have that coordinate with our DSP, or our set of dies. So because we used vanilla, we'll use vanilla again. What about basic beige? Well, that is a great idea. I just don't have it die cut or embossed. Basic beige would be really good. But we're going to stick with our Timid Tiger. I think it does add a nice touch to the brightness of this card. Oh, I'll take a piece of basic beige because, gosh, that's a good suggestion. That is, if I have to. Hold on. Okay. What if basic beige is an option? Do you like basic beige better? Or would you prefer Timid Tiger? So now we have, this is like round 2 of voting. Oh, Stacy says beige instead of vanilla. So like for my labels. Well, then I'm going to have to die cut more labels. I will do it though. You guys are worth die cutting more labels. I can most certainly do that. Okay, so tiger for the embossing, and then beige for the die cuts. Is that what I'm feeling or hearing? Okay. I think we got it. All right, let me quick die cut those pieces and then we will put it together. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to stick with the Timid Tiger. So let's put that onto our card. I'm putting a little more adhesive than I normally do because this panel is embossed with our corrugated 3D embossing folder. All right, so we'll put that on there. Then we're going to add this beautiful piece. And I can't find my other sheet of dimensionals. Oh, it's just under my cardstock layer, of course. But we're going to pop this up too, because why wouldn't we? I mean, let's be honest. If you can pop stuff up, you just should. That is my card making philosophy. Okay. So we'll put that on there like so. And then we're going to add our sentiment. Now, our sentiment, there you can, well, we've got a couple of options. I'll even show them to you. So we've got the Charming Day has some stamps, or has some sentiments in it in the stamp set. But I wanted to use the Right Words. This is a really great set because it has innies and outies. And I know a lot of people really like sentiment sets that have something for the outside and the inside of the card. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to use this. Okay, so one thing we could do is a happy birthday or a thinking of you. It would fit on here pretty nicely. So it's kind of up to you. Well, I think I'm going to go with happy birthday because actually I think I need a happy birthday card coming up because it's like birthday month this month. Okay. So I'm going to stamp my happy birthday in some early espresso. On here like so. I'm trying to make sure I stamp this straight, hopefully. Whew! Oh, that's so... I actually die cut a couple of the vanilla panels, you know, in preparation for my card, but then we changed. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't mess this up because I don't have extra. Okay, so I've got that. And then I'm going to adhere this. And I'm going to do my dimensionals like half on, half off. And what that does is holds the designer series or the ribbon down to the designer series paper. And then this can stick off just a hair like so. Now this also has some embellishments, but I don't know if I want to use them. Well, yeah, we can. I was going to say there aren't really colors. There's not, I don't know. I think actually I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to use the Timid Tiger pearls in our flat in color pearls instead, just because I think it would fit what we're doing here a little better. So I'll put a couple of them on there and we'll leave it like that. And then I also feel strongly that this card requires a little spritzing because you can never spritz enough. There we go. I need to refill my spritzing. There. This one's good. My Wink Estella is about out. Ooh, that is much better. Okay. So now there's some beautiful shimmer on here. And then we've got the inside panel. Now I was thinking you should probably put a little designer series paper in here to coordinate things, because wouldn't that be nice? So we'll just attach this to the inside of our card or our die cut panel. If you wanted, you could for sure run this little piece through the die to get the matching edges, but in this case, I'm not going to be that critical of things. Okay, so, oh, so beautiful. And then, of course, we've got our coordinating sentiment, which we're going to add to the inside of this. Again, with our early espresso ink. So happy birthday to someone worth celebrating every single day. So that's just a lovely little sentiment for the inside of our card. And look at how easy this card was. I mean, once the voting was done, the process itself was quite simple. And it's just such a gorgeous card, isn't it? And I love the colors. This paper is just so pretty. I also considered using Petal Pink. That's not really in the set per se, but I think it would work, which I think is really nice. So very, very pretty card for somebody's birthday. All right, now speaking of birthdays, I do have one more birthday card. As we mentioned, it's kind of birthday month. There seems to be lots of July birthdays, so let's get our cards in order. We are going to use 2 stamp sets for this next card, and I think you're gonna love it. This set is called Not 29 Anymore, and it makes me giggle. It's so awesome. Not 29 anymore, so many candles. We're gonna use that sentiment. Then we've got free cake. I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like you're not 29 anymore. It's all fun and games until your metabolism slows down. Isn't that the truth? I love this. Let's get this party started so I can be home by 9. Older, but not wiser, or still cool. You decide. And then, of course, a nice, solid happy birthday, which I love. And then this one, treat yourself, because I didn't get you anything. And then my personal favorite, here's to another year of questionable decisions. So I really wanted to use this So Many Candles, and one of the samples has this candle from the Choose Happy stamp set. So I thought it would be perfect for us to use that stamp as well. So I'm going to keep this real simple. We're going to start with a thick white card base, and then we'll give that a good crease. And then I'm going to stamp and heat emboss my sentiment in black cardstock and a white emboss. But I wanted to use this first to draw a little line on my card here. So I've got a 3 3/4 by 5-inch piece of white, and then I just drew this line in a faint pencil mark because I'm going to stamp my candles on that line. Then what I'm going to do with this piece is, as I mentioned, is we're going to heat emboss it. So let's get rid of our stuff here. I'm going to take my embossing buddy and stamp this, and So Many Candles, because I think it's funny. Okay. So inking that up in Versamark and then centering this on my panel like so. And then we will put some white powder on. I did stamp it a teeny bit crooked, but actually I think it's because my stamp is on my thing crooked. We're going to go with it though. Okay, just want to hit that end. Sometimes when I'm trying to get the excess powder off, I get too much of the powder off. I think you probably all know what I mean. Okay. So we're just heat embossing white powder on black cardstock. All right, and again, this is just going to go here, but we put our line. So now I want to use my Memento ink pad, and I get questions on this every time, so I'm just going to explain real quick. This is a white uninked craft pad, but I put Memento refill into it because it produces a much nicer Memento ink pad in my very humble professional opinion. Then I'm going to take those candles and I'm just going to start stamping them down the row. I'm not lining them up exactly. I want there to be a little bit of variety in the height of these candles because, life is not perfect. And I think it just looks a little bit more natural when they aren't, lined up exactly perfect. That's just my opinion. If you want yours to be perfectly lined up, you go for it. Be my guest. And then what we're going to do is color these with some Stampin' Blends. And I think I've got room. Well, that looks pretty even, so I'll just stick with it. Now, if you wanted to, you could do, an exact number of candles. If it was for that kind of a birthday where you wanted the exact number, that's totally fine. But what I would recommend is choosing a color combination. So for today, let's see here. What should we do? I feel like I want a little bit of Azure Afternoon. Always a good choice of color. Then I'm going to do some pumpkin pie. And then I think I'm going to do some Granny Apple Green. So these are nice colors. If you wanted it to be a little bit more feminine, you could add maybe like Melon Mambo. If you wanted to keep it kind of on the masculine side, you can stick with these colors. So I'm going to keep it on the masculine side. And we're just going to, and then we want some daffodil for the flame. Okay, so I'm going to take the dark. And I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm doing dark on the bottom of these candles, and I'm going every third one. And then we'll blend it with the light on top. So, like I said, nothing super fancy. Just coloring those candles. Now, if you wanted to, you could kind of do the stripes, like light and dark, every other stripe, whatever floats your boat, since we're going to be all Midwestern here today. Then I'm going to do pumpkin pie, same deal, easy peasy. Keep missing that corner. Goodness. All right. Blend the top over with our light. And then, of course, Azure Afternoon, which is just such a nice blue. You could also do Coastal Cabana here. Well, we don't actually have a Coastal Cabana. You could do Summer Splash. Okay, and then our light goes on top. And then the last thing we'll do is our little flame. So coloring is super easy. Now I'm just putting the dark at the base of the flame, and then we'll do light. This is me being, you know, fancy. You could just do one color for the flame, but I make nothing if not fancy cards. Oh, Leanne says, and your blouse is beautiful too. Thank you. I appreciate it. Can I tell you guys a secret? This is actually a swimsuit cover-up, but I love it so much, and I think it's too pretty for that. Like, so I got it on sale, and I think it's perfect for a shirt. So that's what I'm doing, and I don't care. I don't care. Okay, so there we go. We've got all our candles, and then we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna pop that up. Now we're gonna also add to this in some black ink. And again, I love this. Here's to another year of questionable decisions. So I haven't attached this yet, but I'm gonna just add that underneath like so, and then we'll pop this up. I mean, obviously. Now again, if you wanted to make this a little more feminine a card, I would add a bow to this, and that bow could be like linen thread or baker's twine. Sorry, you could do linen thread too, but I would do like white or black baker's twine on this. It's kind of up to you, but I just think this is so fun. And then we'll attach this to our card. Now here's where you can add a layer of colored cardstock to this. So that's why I actually don't have it on here. So again, if you wanted, I'm thinking my Azure Afternoon would be perfect. So let me quick cut a panel. I'm going to do 4 by 5 1/4. Again, the white is 3 3/4 by 5. But you could do Granny Apple Green, you could do Pumpkin Pie, you could do Timid Tiger. They would all look nice on here. Actually, I don't like that. I do like it, but what I'm going to do is trim it down a little bit more. It's too much. Okay. I don't want it to take away from our awesome card. There, I think that is much better. Okay. So let's attach that. And then you could pop it up or stick it down directly to your card. It's up to you. I'm so popping it up because why wouldn't I? But again, there's so many color combinations you could do with this. Melon Mambo, Pretty in Pink, and pumpkin or peach pie would be so pretty. You could do green and yellow and blue. So like instead of the pumpkin pie, you could do Daffodil Delight on here. You know, lots and lots of different colors. Now on the inside, I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday, and I will do that in a coordinating azure afternoon. Like so. And sorry, I just wanted to make sure I didn't get that into my ink pad. And one last look. Where did my happy stamp set go? I was looking, I thought there was a little balloon in here, but there's not. So I was going to add a balloon, but that's okay. We can just add a couple of candles, or one of each, in here and color those up real quick. Again, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. Is that, yes, like, is that even in the frame? Sorry, I should have done this when I was going through this the first time. But that's okay because it all comes together pretty quick. So again, choose a color combination that works great for your recipient, and that color combination, you know, can certainly change the look of the card depending on the colors you choose, and would be really easy to change it up for a different look, you know. Okay, so I hope you like this one. It really came together quite quickly, even with the coloring. It's quite simple, and I hope you liked this one. All right, let me close this ink pad up, and then I will show you our cards from today, because I feel like they were pretty awesome. All right, let's get my excess pieces out of the way. We did some good voting today. I love that. See, look at me planned ahead with my 2 little label pieces in case I messed up. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3 beautiful cards. Our first card was our fun fold for a gift card holder, and it is also the card challenge for July. Stamping with the Creativity Cave card challenge. You can add your card created with these dimensions to the post that will go up tomorrow in the Stamping with the Creativity Cave Facebook group. If you haven't joined it already, make sure and join it. Don't forget to comment what your favorite stamp set is when you join. That just helps me ensure that I am actually letting in stampers into the group and not weirdos. You know what I mean? I do get an occasional odd person who wants to join. And by that, I mean not a card maker, pardon me. Then we did this fun card with that beautiful, beautiful new designer series paper, and then this silly card, which just makes my heart giggle. So anyway, I hope you loved our projects today, friends. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. And don't forget, our 20% off sale starts on Wednesday, 20% off of two-tone cardstock. There's lots and lots of two-tone cardstock that we carry. And registration for Watercolor Week, which is happening later this month, is coming out tomorrow. Hope you can join us for all of the fun. We'll see you soon, friends. Take care. Bye-bye.